In the previous lesson, we established the beat hierarchy and explored cut time, where our concept of which kind of note receives a beat changed for the first time. In this video, we'll explore compound meter. The 2, 3, and 4 patterns for compound meter are 6/8, 9/8, and 12/8. This is where our definition of a time signature is a little misleading. In 6/8, for example, we would take the literal definition of the time signature to mean that there are 6 beats in the bar and that each beat is an eighth note. This is not exactly the case. While there are 6 eighth notes in this bar, they are actually grouped like this. Each beat contains 3 eighth notes and would sound like this. We can clearly hear 2 beats with 3 eighth notes in each beat. Following this pattern, we see that 9/8 is actually a 3-beat bar with 3 eighth notes per beat, and 12/8 is actually a 4-beat bar with 3 eighth notes per beat. Here's where it gets interesting though. Looking at our 12/8 line of rhythm, we see that 3/8 fit into a beat. If I want to fit one note into a beat, that would be a dotted quarter note. We're used to seeing this as a beat and a half in simple meter, but in compound meter like 12/8, this becomes a single beat. Not only that, combining 2 of these single beat dotted quarter notes gives us a dotted half note, which is 2 beats, not 3 beats. It would sound like this. The main characteristic of compound meter is that it subdivides into 3s rather than into 2s like in simple meter. We will get a better sense of this in the next lesson. For now, let's explore all the rhythmic possibilities of compound meter. Compound meter subdivides by 3s at the 8th note level, but by 2s at each other level. At the 16th level, I can still fit in 2 16th notes per 8th note in various combinations. Let's take a look at a line of 9/8 rhythm with some examples of 16th rhythm. They would sound like this. Dotted rhythm can also be interesting. Within a beat, a quarter note followed by an eighth note would create the feel of dotted rhythm. Larger than one beat, you would need to use ties. For example, you could tie a dotted quarter to a quarter, then follow it by an eighth note. Here's an example of a mixed 16th and dotted rhythm, with some rests incorporated. Finally, we can also employ cut time to compound meter. For example, 6/4 is actually a 2 pattern where each beat is a dotted half note. Here's a line of 6/4 in compound meter. It would sound like this. We've now learned about compound meter, which is based on the beat subdividing into 3 eighth notes instead of 2. To understand compound meter a little better, we will explore simple to compound meter transitions in the next video. We will also explore tuplets, which will allow us to incorporate foreign subdivisions within a beat.